Sometimes I find myself in a DIY hair tutorial. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I installed my brand new hair, which is a kinky straight hair from Curls Queen. So let's go ahead and jump into it while I take down my old install and show you what I did. Now initially when I got this box, I got 2 bundles of kinky straight hair, a brush, a bonnet, and a net thing to hold everything together. Okay, now if you've been here for a while, you know this is not the first time I've reviewed Curls Queen. My initial review of them and the hair that I got was not very favorable. I decided to go ahead and post it anyway so that you guys can, stay away from a brand that was not going to provide good hair. But even with this specific install, I wanted to try out the hair first. I wanted to make sure that it was good quality hair before I, came to show you guys. So as we're talking right now, I have had this hair in for about 2 weeks and I've washed it twice, conditioned, blown it out, and once I flat iron it, it works very well. I just need to wash it a week or 2 weeks, just like I do all my other kinky straight hairs to prevent it from tangling too much, just like my other kinky straight hair or, any install that I do. I generally wash my installs a week or 2 weeks just to keep them fresh and beautiful looking. Okay, so after I take down my hair, I give my scalp a few days to relax before I detangle and wash my hair. So this is a few days later. I am doing my pre-shampoo routine where I put a reconstructing conditioner or a hydrating conditioner in my hair, detangle it, and then I cover it for a few minutes. In this case, it was over an hour, and just let the product do its thing so that my hair is adequately conditioned and hydrated before I shampoo it. After I did that, I washed my hair and applied my Mizani leave-in, my Sacred leave-in, and my Ion heat protectant to my hair. I combed it out and did a very poor job at blow drying my hair, I will say. This was like the fastest blow dry ever because my aunt said, "Hey, I have an availability now. You can come so I can do your wig braids." And I ran over there. She had a client right before me. So when she said she had time, I was like, let me go get this braid done. Because if I wanted to braid my hair, it was going to take me too long. So I headed over there and she did a quick braiding job for me. Of course, she had to detangle my hair a little bit more. Before I start, I like to go in with some Minoxidil on my scalp, even though I will wash it out, once a week or once every 2 weeks. I like to just apply that. That way, every time I wash my hair, I can reapply it. And so I started. Okay, now initially before I made the wig, I had actually stitched 2 wefts together. That way it was easier. So I just kept the stitched wefts that I did in the back. So the back stitches where it were done on wefts that were sewn together to make it thicker, so the gap between them was a little bit bigger. I made sure that the ends of the wefts were tacked very neatly onto my hair without anything pulling. Now I know that when you're doing your own hair, it makes it easier because you can feel the tension, you can fix anything that's pulling too much. That way you don't put too much tension on your hair and your scalp. I will say that it is not very easy if you're somebody who doesn't know how to lay tracks to do your own hair. Of course, your arms are gonna hurt, but whenever I first learned how to do my weave, it took me a few hours to be able to do this. But with this specific hairstyle, because the wefts were already cut from me trying to make the wig, it was very easy for me to just place them and stitch them as I go. So that's what I did. And as you can see, that red gets covered up by the next track over. So if you're not going to use a red thread to make a wig and end up taking it down, you don't have to worry about that. You can just use your regular thread and go in and start making your wig. Let me tell you a little bit about this kinky straight hair. This is not the kind of kinky straight hair that I'm used to, for sure. If you're somebody who doesn't like a lot of texture to your kinky straight hair, this would be the right texture for you because it has like this wavy, crimpy kind of a look to it, not like textured coarse hair or textured 4C hair. This one is more along the lines of a crimpy, wavy type of a kinky straight hair, not the coarse, textured kinky straight hair that you are used to seeing from me. upsides with this kind of hair texture is once it gets water on it, like in a humidity rich environment, it doesn't puff up as crazy as my other kinky straight hairs. The thing that I would say is a little bit different for me is that my natural hair is very coarse, very textured. So although it does match once my hair is flat ironed, once my hair is in its natural state or is in a moisture rich or humidity rich environment, it doesn't blend as easily as I would like it to. But I just need to put a bit of heat on my hair and it would be fine. And the hair is also a bit more on that shiny side, which is not a bad thing. I am used to having very coarse kinky straight hair. So if you're like me and you like coarse kinky straight hair, this might not be the one for you, because as you can see, it is more on that wavy crimpy side, not the coarse textured side. Now at this point I have reached the top part of my weave, and going very slowly to make sure that I'm not pulling anything too crazy, and I'm also making sure that I am knotting my stitches enough to where it's not going to fall apart. As you can see, my needle did grab a few of my hairs, but I will take time to pull it out so that it's not just stuck into the stitches that I'm making. Okay, so once I hit the top, I sew it as close to the tip of the braid down as possible, and then I measure and cut it. And once I cut it, I use my needle to go through the front tip of the weft. That way it can tuck down as nicely, securely, and as neatly as possible. Now let me undo my braids in the front, and you can see what I mean by the texture on this weave or extension is not as coarse as you're used to seeing from me. Initially, if I would have done this on any of my other kinky straight hairs, you would see that the texture would have matched very, very nicely. My whole hair would have been puffy and it would have been glorious, right? But with this, it's more on that wavy side, which is not a bad thing, because there are some people who prefer this more wavy type of a kinky straight, and that's not bad. This one would work beautifully if I were traveling outside of the country to like a tropical area, and it actually did work because I did travel to LA with it. And for me, I feel like LA is very humid around certain times of the year to where my kinky straight gets very puffy, but this time around it did not get puffy on me, and I was able to maintain my hairstyle without looking like I wasn't trying hard enough to, have a nice clean aesthetic. Okay, so after I went to bed, I actually, this is the next morning, I went back in, blew out the hair, and used my flat iron to straighten it out a little bit. Once I straightened out the extensions, I added some of my Mizani leave-in, my sacred leave-in, and my ion heat protectant to my hair, and then I went ahead and blew it out again before I started flat ironing it. I actually applied the products to my hair before I started flat ironing the extensions. That way the products will get time to soak in and do what they have to do on my leave out. Now once that happened, I went in and did the chaser method and flat ironed my hair. So with the chaser method, this is what the hair is looking like. My hair definitely came out a lot straighter than the kinky straight hair, so I must have done something really good with my flat iron for it to look like this. Okay, now this part of the video or tutorial is where I will tell you to do what you know how to do and not how I did it, because I don't know what to do when it comes to cutting or face framing. I literally took some hair from ear to ear and I measured the length of my natural hair, and that's where I started cutting it. I was doing what I've seen people do, that's called face framing. That way my natural hair wasn't shorter than my extensions. I don't know what I'm doing in this part, but I actually really like how it came out, because I was almost going to go pay someone at Ulta to give me some face framing layers, but I don't mind how it came out. I also don't like when my bundles get chopped, so this works beautifully for me. And because the hair wefts are already cut, if I needed to reinstall it, it would be so easy to follow the same exact way that I installed this, because you know, when you do it yourself, it's easier for you to remember which track or which weft goes where. Okay, now after I cut these face framing layers, I went in and bumped the ends a little bit so that it would look really, really nice. Now, on this day, I was actually heading to the airport like as soon as my hair was done. So it worked well for me. I was actually able to maintain this hair for about 4 days without me needing to, you know, flat iron it again. The hair didn't get puffy on me, and it still looks really, really good right now as I'm, you know, recording this voiceover. So if you're somebody who likes kinky straight hair that is not too crimpy or too textured, but you still want that volume of kinky straight hair that will match your hair and not be too puffy for you, this hair would be absolutely, absolutely perfect. If you want more texture in your kinky straight hair, I don't know if this will work for you, okay? But besides that, the hair worked very, very well, and I am not upset about it. I will say that Curls Queen, for me, have redeemed themselves because, like I said, my initial video of me trying them was not a good one, but this one was not so bad. So definitely go ahead and check out Curls Queen. I will put all the details down below in the description box for you to check out. Let me know what you think about this install. Will you be trying your own DIY sewing at home? Thank you so much for watching. Love you lots, and I hope to see you in these DIY streets. I don't know if I will keep doing this though, because my arms hurt, my neck hurts, everything hurts right now, okay? Love you lots. Bye.